Happy New Year, survivors. I'm so excited about this year, guys. It's a whole new year, a whole new journey for all of us. I hope everybody enjoyed their New Year's and the holidays. And for those of you that's already subscribed, guys, thank you so much for tuning back in with us. And for the new subscribers, guys, thank you so much for joining us. In today's video, I want to talk about this video is going to be about 5 ways to outsmart a narcissist in court. Now, before I go into this video, guys, I suggest that you do as much research as you can on the court process, as much research as you can. It's a whole journey learning about the legal system. And I've noticed people, that spent thousands and thousands of dollars on attorneys, $15,000, $30,000 and up. I've heard so many horror stories about them, hiring attorneys and then still getting some of the same outcomes or not getting the outcomes that they really wanted, So I always suggest just be careful with, with hiring anybody for anything, you gotta just pay attention and do your research on people. And but for those of you that mainly you just can't afford it anymore, you just don't have the money, you can always go pro se and represent yourself. And a lot of people have a lot of things to say. It may be a little controversial about pro se, but I want to give you some tips, guys. The first thing I want to say is that when you go into you go into court against a narcissist, the first tip I want to say is, just build them up, ask them questions. They have a super, super big ego. Everything is about their ego. And they're actually the opposite of what they really are. So if a narcissist has a really, really, really big ego and thinks that they're the best parent in the world, they're usually awful parents. They like to pretend to be something that they're not, basically. So, you just ask them questions like, do you love your kids? Just simple questions, do you love your kids? That should be a good question. Tell me more about what you do during your parenting time. Explain to me. They're going to tell some truth and they're going to lie to make themselves, look good in front of the judge. That's just how they are. They want to look good in front of people. And even if it's not a judge, they want to look good to anybody that sees your kid with them. That's just how they are. They really aren't interested in the children like a lot of people think they are, that doesn't understand the disorder. They just pretty much use them for attention and everything. Yeah, a lot of them narcissists have children just for attention, for just sometimes it could be for benefits, financial purposes, or just to basically just have control over somebody. So yeah, you ask them those questions and they have a big ego and they're also pathological liars. So just let them float on their ego. They're going to be floating in cloud nine on their ego and explaining and talking, probably over talking, burying themselves. And then what you do is just absolutely crush the ego, but in a way, you do it in a way, if you're pro se, you got a lot of flexibility when you're pro se because you're not an attorney and the judge knows this, it's more flexibility. So you can talk and maybe break some of the courtroom etiquette, but not, too much, So just crush the ego. Say, just get a little loud with them because they got the emotional intelligence of a kid. Just tell them, why did you do drugs around your kid then? Why did you put them in danger? You know what I'm saying? Just be a little more, just ask them and confront them. And they're going to, kind of like get a little like big eyed and emotional. They're not going to like that, you're coming at them like that. They're not going to like that. Just use those tactics. And you also remember when parenting, narcissists are in competition with you. They're competitive, your abusers. They want to make people think that they are the better parent. And it's a competition for them, the court system. And it's another way to abuse you emotionally by creating all these false allegations and all that against you and your loved ones. So I'm going to get into that in a minute. But just ask them, like, why did you do drugs around your kid then? Why did you put them in danger? Why, whatever is going on in your situation, just ask them questions. And if you're kind of mild, monotone, soft spoken, just kind of, just speak up a little more, and confront them, because they have low emotional intelligence again, so it's gonna bother them emotionally. And then you go in, right after that, you try to go in and number two is have something that they don't expect you to have, because narcissists are, remember, they're very sneaky, and they never had proof of anything. They just use a lot of manipulation, he say, she say, and unfortunately, the court system, they do take a lot of that. They call it circumstantial evidence, and it's just basically the narcissist lying and saying whatever they want to say. You don't want the judge to really focus on that. You're trying to get her to focus on more so the evidence. So you're trying to get her to see that something is off about this individual. So have something that they don't expect you to have after that, because that'll put them more at a disadvantage, because they are so sneaky. They hide everything that they're doing. And remember, those with antisocial personality disorder, they are lawbreakers. They're rule breakers. That's why they're so paranoid and cautious, because they really don't want to get caught for doing the things that they do. They don't mind breaking the law, because they feel like they're justified. They have a warped reality. It's like they can do whatever they want to do, but they just want to get away with it. They don't really want to go to jail. Nobody wants to go to jail, but a narcissist, they really don't want to go to jail. So that's why they go through and do the things that they do. So they're very paranoid. They're very cautious. So that's why you never initially meeting them, you don't know much about them. It seems like they're very careful about what they want you to know, but they seem to have to get all your information from you. So so just, it's going to piss them off when you have something on them that they don't expect you to have. And you could be creative with getting information, because I know it may be like, well, how do I get this information? How do I get something like this? I've heard some people say that they use they had a lot of success in getting private investigators to get some of the information that they needed on a narcissist, because some of these narcissists are drug dealers, and it's just crazy. I've heard a story where this lady was co-parenting with a drug dealer, a narcissist, and she just the only thing that she was trying to go to court and get her kid, and they just didn't want to believe what she was saying. So it's just something else. It's just something else. So just try to have something if you can. This is prior to going to court. You have to build a better, stronger case. I think some of us, when we're doing pro se, I think we just are operating off of emotions, because we're so hurt what the narcissist did to us, and we really go in there just thinking that somebody's going to feel sorry for us, but nobody's going to feel sorry for you. The judges, they're there all day, and they just, I don't know, it's just a cold environment, so you have to, it's just a lot of things to think about. But they take cases every day, and you don't want to go in there being a victim yourself. You want to be more a survivor. You want to speak up for yourself, stand up for yourself. I don't know. I think people like to actually see stuff like that. You want to fight for yourself, because they're in the courtroom. They're looking at you, and they're looking at the narcissist from the stand. They're thinking, this person doesn't look scary, but you have to just paint a picture for the for the judge. So yeah, this is going to piss the narcissist off when you have something that they don't expect you to have, and also just be careful, because that'll probably cause a narc injury and make them go into narc rage. So protect yourself in society the best way you can, cameras, whatever you have to get, if you have to get a gun, whatever, and just stay away from them. No contact, really no contact, to very, very, very low contact. So yeah, number 3 is get some evidence on their loved ones, their close relatives, because if your kids are going to be around these individuals, narcissists, a lot of them, they are living with other people, and they have all types of situations going on, but you're not supposed to know anything about that, right? Because they hide everything, but they don't mind snitching, because they are snitches and telling everything about you, and then lying too to make you look bad. So yeah, if you can understand that, get any evidence, any criminal records on anybody that your kids is around on the narcissist end, because they do hang around other sketchy people. And they'll make false allegations about your kin folks. So I'm just telling you that, police records of anybody, that your kids around in their family, because, you know, narcs breed narcs. Narcissists breed narcissists. So, you know, somebody in their family may have something that may be a registered sex offender or something. You never know. Once you start really doing your research on their whole clan, you'll find out some things, you know. So yeah. Number 4 is going to be just have an amazing defense strategy. Learn how to defend yourself in court. I think that's one of the most important things out of this whole list. You know, there are probably some books on Amazon, and then you could probably go to the courthouse on your days off and sit in there and see how people defend themselves. See how some of the attorneys work when they're defending, you know, their clients. Write down some good strategies, or take your recorder, you know. I mean, you really need to learn how to defend yourself and stand up for yourself. You know, ask them questions. Ask them, do they have proof of everything? If they say, you know, well, you left the kid alone at home, ask them, do you have proof? You don't live in my home. Do you have proof that I left them at home alone? Do you have proof? What is your proof? You don't have any proof of this, but you're saying this about me. Really, you know, just ask them. Keep on asking them. You know, sometimes they'll come to court with something made up, and they didn't, you know, because they lie all the time. They'll come to court and they're supposed to, because when you're co-parenting, you're always supposed to ask them, like, ask them, if did you make me aware of this? You're saying this now, but did you make me aware of this out, you know, when did you make me aware of this? Do you got proof that you made me aware of this? This is something I don't know anything about. Why wouldn't you make me aware of this? You know, just question their maturity and their motives, you know. Ask them, because sometimes they might come to the courtroom and say, your new girlfriend slapped your daughter. You know, if you're if you're a male, listen to this, and you have a new girlfriend or a female friend, the female narcissist may come to court and say, this new girlfriend of yours slapped your daughter. And just ask, like, why wouldn't you have made me aware of this prior to coming to court? You know, do you have any text messages that this happened? I don't know anything about this. You never mentioned this to me. So sometimes they lie in court. They're very impulsive. Narcissists are very impulsive. They come up with they come up with things just, you know, just very quickly. They'll use whatever situation they have to use to just win. They're competitive, you know. So yeah, just question their maturity. You're supposed to have a level of maturity, and you know, I think the court system, they always expect us to be the bigger person. We're supposed to be the bigger person no matter what. And I guess that's just their thinking, that you're supposed to be the bigger person. You're supposed to handle things maturely. And that's why I say you have to go no contact and not be around them, because they're always going to try to set you up to get you a reaction from you in situations. So you have to just stay away from them at all costs, because it's just better just to work with them from a distance. It's a lot better for you, for your mental health. So yeah, the court systems, I feel like they expect you to be this great, just bigger person, like this amazing, outstanding person. So you have to kind of show that every situation that you've been in, how you handle it, and, you know, never be immature, because they don't like that, or petty, you know, for the most part. So number 5 is going to be, this is also another very important thing. When they're playing the victim in court, sometimes they try to throw the judge off and get sympathy. They'll start just doing anything. They'll start, like, they might mention something good that happened between the two of you. They might say, oh, I remember when, you know, we were together, we used to go out all the time, and, you know, I don't understand. Just stop them, you know, because you got more flexibility when you're a proceed. Just stop them from playing a victim. Just say, hey, this is irrelevant, Your Honor. This is irrelevant. This is not, you know, I'm not trying to be harsh, but I just want to let you know, I feel like they're trying to distract you and they're charming you. Let the judge know that they're just charming you. This is irrelevant. What does this happen? What happened in the relationship have to do with what's really going on here in court right now? So just, you know, yeah, you might need to let the judge know. I suggest that. Like, I feel like they're charming you, you know. Just interrupt them, because a narcissist will interrupt you. You know, that's part of their game. They just trying to do anything to play the victim. You got to stop them from making the judge feel bad for them, or, you know, making the judge feel sorry for them. You don't want a judge to feel sorry for the narcissist. So you kind of got to make them put their legal cap back on instead of taking it off, because I feel like they be putting their legal cap on and then taking it off and then putting it back on, and they may end up feeling sorry, and they feel sorry for the narcissist. It's basically like a lose, because they may not rule in the way that they should. You know, they may put a very lenient give them a lenient punishment. And it's just, do you really think that, we all are going downtown just for a slap on the wrist? Like, that's just crazy. Some of you all are, having so much that you dealt with, and you're all the way downtown in a courthouse, sitting there all day. If you got a job, you're missing money from work, and you didn't come down here just to get that individual a slap on the wrist. Like, that's not fair, So make sure you kind of figure out a strategy to stop them when they're trying to play the victim. That's very, very, very important. You got to stop it, because the judge may start to feel emotionally and feel sorry for them, may feel like this person is just, they might make some mistakes, but they don't mean they're bad. No. How many mistakes can you make? Narcissists, how many passes are you going to give somebody for making a mistake after, it's just not a mistake anymore? How many mistakes are they allowed to make? I mean, so don't let the judges feel sorry for them. Just stop them midpoint, and, at the same time, follow, listen to a judge when you, when they're asking you, you just, when they're telling you what to do. Don't be disrespectful with them. Try not to. Even if they're disrespecting you, the judge might challenge you. Just answer. Just think about it. Don't get stressed. Just answer if they're challenging you, because they still might feel bad for the narcissist. They're very, remember, they're professional con artists, professional liars, professional manipulators. So just still learn as much as you can about the courtroom. Just listening to this video is never going to be enough, because you still have to have that experience, have to understand, everything, how to conduct yourself. But I'm just saying, when you're pro se, you have a little bit more flexibility. And, I've heard some people say that the judges do, some of them like that. They see attorneys all day. They want to hear stuff coming from the horse's mouth, and they want to make their own decisions. But with that being said, they may be a little bit biased at the same time, since they're listening to you, and a narcissist is such a good manipulator. So figure out everything you can about the courtroom, about what type of evidence to submit, everything. It's a lot. And, you may not be good at speaking up. I suggest taking like some type of, just learning how to speak up for yourself, or practicing speaking up in front of people, because they'll embarrass you. You don't need to get weak. I don't care if the narcissist is embarrassing or says something that happened to you, or maybe something you messed up, and they'll embarrass you. Don't get embarrassed. It's not the time, and don't shut down in court ever. I don't care what tricks they got up their sleeve. Don't ever shut down. Just be confident and strong, So yeah, that's about it. What I have to say about being pro se. I know a lot of people need to do it just to save money. And yeah, so guys, tell me what you think in the comments below. Tell me what you think about this video, or any other tips that you guys may want to share with everybody. And thank you guys so much for listening to this video. Bye.